clock thing. Let me know when you count to 50, alright? Mahogany table. Thanks for holding my computer. Well, guess I'm off to college.
You mean it's time for salon? Is it? Already?
Yeah, but we'll sing just one more song.
To be honest, we've already heard you cover Dreamweaver.
You're not coming, Hasik Jesus?
Sorry, Miss Sugar. I'm too busy watching over my children. But maybe I'll come back later in the semester.
Feminist Frederick?
Fuck no. You make excuses for fascism by being an alt-right centrist. Go fuck yourself.
Never change, Fred. Never change.
I will miss you, though. I really will.
Cody? You know what, Cody? Coming with me. Chicks dig bears. Besides, with you by my side, we could do anything that we want to do. Thanks for all your help. Another edit? Alright. Bye, guys.
Say goodbye, look to the sky, and set your course on into the night. You say goodbye, you hold your head high, wherever you go.
God, that guy was such a cunt.
Well, anyway, Joss Whedon was never a male feminist.
It's a rare condition, this day and age, to read any good news on the newspaper page.
It's great to be back. Hey everyone, Irishman Rants here, and yeah, I'm back in Chicago. I didn't really make any videos last year in Chicago, but yeah, I'm back. Yay. So anyway, what interesting topic are we going to be getting into today for my first episode in Chicago? Let's go with a very happy and joyful topic about the terrible things that both the left and right are doing to not help Hurricane Harvey victims. That's not happy at all, I just realized that. There's been this thing called Hurricane Harvey, and it's become one of the biggest hurricanes to ever hit the southern part of the United States. It's basically our next Katrina. It's devastated many parts of Texas, particularly Houston. Many people have lost their lives and their homes, and it's very devastating. Luckily, there's a lot of people who are doing their best to help out. One of those people who isn't doing that is Trump, who instead decided to not visit any of the hurricane victims like the previous 3 presidents, and instead go to Corpus Christi in Missouri and talk about how great his crowd size was. But really, are you fucking surprised? Because I'm really not. Even worse is the fact that there are not only people on the right who are misusing funds that could be going to hurricane victims and hurricane relief, but there's also people on the left who are being accused of doing the exact same thing. I feel like the best course of action right now is to fucking help people who are in need of hurricane relief. And there's another one, as I'm recording this, Hurricane Irma is coming right to Florida. And currently Rush Limbaugh's saying it's a liberal hoax, so maybe don't believe me. Believe Rush Limbaugh. I decided I wanted to talk about these two to show why I don't consider myself to be either a liberal or a conservative, and always say that they're devouring each other. And that's because on both sides, we usually have shitheads who don't know how to person good. I want to start with the right because it's probably the one with the most impact. Like, Linda Sarsour is a piece of shit, but what's she going to do? It's not like she's stealing $1 billion away from FEMA to pay for a border wall that won't fucking happen. For this part, I'm going to be reading an article from the Denver Post, and I'll put a link in the description. Washington. President Donald Trump is promising billions to help Texas rebuild from Harvey-caused epic flooding, but his Republican allies in the House are looking at cutting almost $1 billion from disaster accounts to help finance the president's border wall. Okay, you're already breaking your promise here, President Trump. You said Mexico was gonna pay for the fucking wall. I was promised a border wall that was not paid for by American money, but it was gonna be paid for in pesos. And for you to go back on your promise, that makes me sick. You're sick. You're a very sick individual. I will not let you grab my pussy. Can you believe this bear that's hiding in the shadows? The pending reduction to the Federal Emergency Management Agency's disaster relief account is part of a massive spending bill that the House is scheduled to consider next week when lawmakers return from their August recess. The $876 million cut, which is included in the 1,305-page measure's Homeland Security section, pays for roughly half the cost of Trump's down payment on the U.S.-Mexico border wall that the president repeatedly promised Mexico would finance. So even the Denver Post knows this full of shit, and they're mostly potheads. It seems sure that GOP leaders will move to reverse the disaster aid cut next week as floodwaters cover Houston, the nation's fourth largest city, and tens of thousands of Texans have sought refuge in shelters. There's only $2.3 billion remaining in federal disaster cover. We have people who are losing their homes, who are in desperate need of help and attention. And what are we going to do? We're going to pay for a wall. That's not going to happen. I mean, there's already a wall set in place that Mexicans have already been climbing over. Do we need another wall? I don't think so. I think we're pretty settled on a wall that doesn't even really do much. Texas Senator John Cornyn, the chamber's number 2 Republican, is pressing for an emergency infusion of disaster aid pending estimates of longer-term rebuilding costs. Despite Trump's promise at a rally in Phoenix last week to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border even if we have to close down our government? What the fuck? Why did nobody tell us that he said this? And what government is there to shut down? Congressional Republicans are optimistic of averting a politically damaging shutdown after the fiscal year ends September 30th. Well, it already feels like the government shut down, so good job there, fucking Republicans. The massive ongoing flooding caused by Harvey means that officials still don't know how much aid the metropolis will need to recover, but it's expected to be many billions of dollars. A possible outcome is 1 or even 2 infusions of immediate aid next month, with a longer-term recovery package coming by year's end. $1 billion. $1 billion that could help build thousands of homes for homeless people. $1 billion that could provide food and water that are clean for people who are trying to avoid the raging rapids. $1 billion that could be used to give clothes and warmth to children who are maybe missing parents or maybe are also homeless. All that $1 billion is going to be used to build a wall that we don't need. I can't believe that Mitch McConnell is allowing this. He should not be allowing this sort of disgusting behavior coming from his party. If I was a Republican, and considering that I'm a skeptic YouTuber, there's a lot of people who assume that, I would want to be doing my best to help people in Texas, especially since most of them probably voted for Trump, as many soulless liberals have pointed out. And I would not be trying to appease a person that I don't actually like, because I know that a lot of Republicans don't actually really like Trump, but they like their party, and since he's the big kahuna of the party, they have to back him, because they're fucking spineless morons. I've been really disgusted by the actions of the Republican Party and the GOP. I hope that they correct themselves and realize that they don't need to buy something that's pretty pointless and not going to happen, especially since Mexico's going to pay for the wall. Instead, they should be helping people in need. You know, the little people. The people that they're supposed to pretend to care about. But of course, the right isn't the only party that's had some flack involving misuse of funds today. Let's talk about Linda Sarsour.
Throw the Jew down the well, so my country can be free.
So for those of you who don't know who Linda Sarsour is, She's a pro-Sharia law feminist. Let me repeat that. She's a pro-Sharia law feminist. Because why not? I've said some choice words about her in the past.
A feminist who happens to be a bad person, in my eyes, would be someone like Linda Sarsour, who not only made anti-Semitic statements, or jokes, possibly, but she also told a genital mutilation victim that she doesn't deserve her genitals. And she's the face of the Women's March. I was part of Women's March Chicago.
God, I miss my lawn hair. But anyway, in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey, she decided to set up hurricane relief funds for the victims, or specifically victims who are of color or disenfranchised and need help in life after the hurricane. That they're going to be fighting for the people who are disenfranchised because of this hurricane. What the fuck does that even mean? And that's what many people said, and started to accuse her of being a scam artist. Because it seems that the organization that she was promoting was more of a political advocacy organization. Then again, I can see that maybe a political advocacy organization could want to set aside everything and actually do a hurricane relief fund. But most people are assuming that it's going to be more pocketed than actually going to the victims, and more fighting for the advocacy of remembering that there are hurricane victims, and some of them happen to not be white. It didn't help that Linda Sarsour decided to respond to the whole confusion and controversy with, "Texas Organizing Project is not my PAC, but who cares about facts when you are white supremacists obsessed with smearing women of color?" Like, literally, me making this video makes me a white supremacist in her eyes. I wish I were joking. She's called Jake Tapper alt-right. Jake fucking Tapper. The person that's been fighting with Kellyanne Conway and works for CNN, a liberal biased organization most of the time. How can Jake Tapper be alt-right? What the fuck is wrong with you, Linda Sarsour? It also didn't help that she told people to not give to the Red Cross, which has been doing a lot more for the hurricane victims than Linda Sarsour's Texas Organizing Project. Like, what's so wrong about one organization helping people? Antifa is helping victims of the hurricane. And I fucking hate Antifa, but I'm glad that they're helping people. Because, you know what? If you're drowning in a lake and you're being rescued by someone and you notice that they have a Nazi armband, are you going to be like, "No, just let me die, I don't want to be saved by a Nazi"? No, you're fearing for your fucking life. You're going to want to be saved by the Nazi. What the fuck am I talking about? It's just so counterproductive for her to keep calling all of her critics white nationalists, white supremacists, alt-right, even when they're clearly not alt-right. And I say that as I'm doing this. That's fucking unbelievable. Why'd you have to make that video, ContraPoints? Now people think I'm a white nationalist for doing this. Now, which do I think is worse? The GOP taking $1 billion to fund a wall that won't happen. That's worse. I hate Linda Sarsour, but at the end of the day, if you donate to her, you fucked yourself over. Who gives a fuck? You spend your money poorly.
You chose poorly.
So I would say that the government deciding to funnel $1 billion away from helping people in need to build a wall because they hate beaners is probably a lot worse. But I wanted to give some focus to both sides of the spectrum, because I feel like this is what happens when I'm describing the left and right as devouring each other. It's because they focus more on their party and their politics and their reputation more than helping people in need. And it's fucking despicable. If you want to donate, please do. There's a lot of people in need, and now with Hurricane Irma happening as I'm filming this video, we're gonna need all the help we can get. But know that even with the political affiliations of someone, you have to decide whether or not they will properly use the funds to help people who are losing their homes, losing their family, losing their resources, or they're just going to be doing it for virtue signaling, if I can use a term that's fucking terrible. I'm going to have a link in the description to the Red Cross, because despite Linda Sarsour thinking that they're bad for some reason, I want people to donate to them because they will actually help people. They've been helping people. And honestly, if they're helping people and they're going to continue to help people, then why not help them help people? I feel like this is like Jerry Maguire. Help me help you. But anyway, yeah, I'm back in Chicago, so that's something. You liking Chicago so far, Cody?
It's the bigger love of the family.
I never promised you that we'd go skydiving.